Welcome to week 4 of the search engine, which offers few but important news. We will cover updates from Google's quality raters and their SEO starter guide, as well as how to trigger a re-indexing of your website. Google has terminated its contract with Appen, a company that has been providing so-called quality raters to the search engine. People who have been employed to provide evaluations of the search engine and provide quality assessment to Google. The termination becomes effective on March the 19th, 2024, ending the relationship between Google and Appen, which has been significant for Appen's business as the agreement constituted 26% of their revenue. The cancellation of the contract raises questions about the future of Google's method of quality evaluation, which is becoming increasingly important as the search engine evolves. The last time Google updated its search quality rater guidelines was in November 2023. The end of the partnership comes as Google has recently laid off employees in several departments as part of its efforts to speed up its development in AI. Yet this has led to criticism of the strategic direction from Google's employees, who are missing more creativity, which is reinforced by Google's tendency to abandon projects if they do not quickly achieve massive user numbers. Therefore, it will be particularly exciting to see how Google will evaluate the success of the many AI investments they have made in the future, and what this will mean for the continued development of the search engine. In a video published by Google, they also share knowledge about how to get your domain re-indexed on the search engine. The answer in the headlines is that a domain must undergo a significant change or update before Google will automatically perform an in-depth recrawl. Google further elaborated that there is no current mechanism to request a complete re-indexing as it stands today. Instead, they emphasize that Google will update the search engine over time. However, Google's John Mueller has provided a series of steps one can follow to aid the re-indexing process. This involves, for example, the use of 301 response codes. This is crucial when a website's URL changes, thus informing search engines that the page has permanently moved to a new URL, which causes them to search for and index the new page. You can also use 404 server response codes to indicate to Google that a page no longer exists. It is further recommended to optimize your domain with links, which helps Google prioritize crawling of important pages on the website, which can aid the search engine in indexing important pages. Lastly, one can update important information such as new phone numbers or addresses on some of the main pages on a domain. John Mueller further mentioned that while 301 redirects are crucial to inform the search engine that a page has moved, a change in content or a big change in content on a page can create a longer process for Google, as they have to assess the quality anew before the page is re-ranked. Many of you may be familiar with Google's SEO starter guide when you have been looking for best practices for optimizing your or your clients' websites. The guide is indeed, despite its beginner format, a good and guiding resource for anyone working with SEO. Now, Google's Search Relations team has announced on their podcast, Search Off the Record, that changes are coming to the guide. A guide that in itself ranks highly on SEO on English search engines, and which is one of the Google's most visited pages, underscoring the ongoing demand from companies to optimize their domains as best as possible. The reason for the update is that Google has seen a need to clean up content that is already handled in various CMSs today and therefore must be considered self-evident, such as guidance on having an HTTPS domain or a page that is mobile-friendly. In addition, a lot of happening on the search engine, so Google naturally also needs to update its guidance for the many companies that read the advice. Today, the guide is over 8,000 words, and the updated version appears to have more than half the words reduced. You can see Google's own starter guide right here in the connected article on the page. If you want to know more about the development of search engines or just want to know what's happening in SEO, then subscribe to our newsletter and our channel here. Then we will make sure to give you the most important news when they arrive.